So, want to know how to get organised for these wedding tables? Stick with me. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be ready and prepared for your big wedding day. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Jack Barton and you join me at my showroom in Lincolnshire where I show all my couples how to go about planning and organising their weddings, as well as them hiring their props from me to make their days spectacular. You join me today because I want to help you guys get organised for your wedding days. When you arrive at your wedding venue and you need to set out everything for your tables, you want to be organised. So, first things first, you need some boxes, okay? I've bought these recently, 3 of them, for £9.99 at Lidl, which is a bargain. You need as many boxes as you have tables. You don't have to have plastic boxes. You could use cardboard boxes. They don't even all need to be the same, but you need to allocate a box per table. So if you've got 10 tables and a top table, that means that you need 11 boxes. So this is my first box. In each of your boxes, you're going to place everything you need or everything that you're taking for each table. Now, these boxes are lovely and clear, and what I've made is a few things that you're going to be able to pop inside to keep you super organised. Now, you can either print out these sheets or you can handwrite them. My advice would be not to do it too early. Things always change. Numbers change, guest numbers change. You might have a swap around of people, which means it's going to double your workload. If you do end up doing this too early, you're going to end up doing it again later on down the line. You may even end up doing it a third time. So I would say maybe 2 weeks, a week out from the wedding, I would get yourself organised with these boxes. So first things first, we're going to number each box. So each box is going to have its own number. Now, when the boxes go into the venue, it's all too often the boxes get placed on the floor. Because everything is so pretty and pristine, nobody ever wants to put anything on a worktop surface or a tabletop surface because you don't want to mark your lovely tablecloths. So all too often, when the boxes arrive at the venue, they will go down on the floor. Now, if you've put the number of your table on the side, here or here, once down on the floor, you're not going to see it. So your number needs to go on the top. Now with my boxes, I have put my number inside the lid, because if I was to sellotape my piece of paper on the top side, when I'm transporting my boxes, it's likely that another box is going to be put on top of that lid. And what's going to happen is it's going to perish the piece of paper that I've placed on top. So I've put my piece of paper on the inside so that when the box is closed, the paper's safely inside and nothing can damage that piece of paper. So no mistakes can be made. Now, as well as writing which table number I am using, okay, for each box, I've also written what contents is in each box. So you can know yourself, you've double checked and made sure that everything is in there that you need for each table. Each table might be slightly different depending on how many guests are sitting around that table. If you've got children sitting at that table, different things means that different things might end up in the box. Now, all too often when you arrive at your venue will have already set your tables out. They will have also scribbled a little number for each table too. Now, this is just to help them so that they recognise which table is which. And also when you arrive, you will know which table is which. And as long as that corresponds up to what you've asked for, then that's brilliant. The little bit of piece of paper will be discarded later on when you put your proper table number or name in, whatever it may be. Now you need to make sure that you've got everything organised for your box. So the first thing that I've written on my contents list of my box is my table number. Now, this is my table number. We've got table 3. So this is my table number. This should be popped into an envelope so that it stays clean. You don't want this to get blemished once other things are on top of it. So pop that in an envelope and then pop that into your box so you know it can't get damaged. So I've got my number into a plastic envelope. Really easy, really simple and easy to get hold of. Plastic envelopes are probably a little bit safer than paper envelopes just because of any water damage or anything like that. You don't want anything damaging your table numbers or names, whatever they may be. So pop that into your box first of all, and you know then the right table number is in the right table box. The second thing that's on my contents list for my box is my place names. Now my place names are also my favours. I often tell people to double up their place names with their favours purely because it's one less thing to put on their table. But these are my place names and these are going to act as favours too. I think they're lovely to take home. Now what you need to do, no matter what your place names are, is pop them in the correct order that somebody is going to set them out. So start with the first person, whether this one is Harry. So start with Harry and then work your way around the table and put them in order behind one another of the way that the table is going to go round. So if you start with Harry, then you next have Sam, then you next have Pippa, you go round and you put them together in that order. And then you pop these into a little envelope too, so they can't get damaged. To keep your place names in order, you might find that you just need an elastic band. Pop it round your name places to keep them in the correct order that you want them to be in. And then place them into either your paper envelope or your plastic envelope. And that's going to be the next thing that you pop into your box. So in my box so far, you can see I've placed my table number in its plastic wallet to keep it nice and safe. I've placed my table place names all in the correct order that they're going to be laid out, so there's no confusion of where anybody should be sitting. But I've also got something else up my sleeve for that. The next thing we've got on my list is candles. Now there's 2 candles going into this box today. There's going to be a pillar candle and a taper candle. Now you will have seen and noticed that I've removed the packaging from my candles already, and I do this because I find it really time consuming once at a venue to take all of the plastic wrapping off. So I discard this before I leave to go to a venue. But what I do is I pop my candles in a bit of kitchen roll just to make sure that they're safe in there and they're not going to go anywhere. And then I'll place those in my box too. Now, looking at my table plan, this table number 3, has a child sat at this table. And in order to keep them a little bit more entertained, I've made them a children's activity sheet. So again, I've popped that inside a plastic envelope and I'm going to pop that in the box too. So for table number 3, that's all of the contents that I am taking to the venue that is required for that table number. But before I close the lid on the box, I want to show you what else I've done. I have actually printed out a sheet with the table number on and the people that are sitting on it. Now, if I pop this in the box and get to the venue and expect a bridesmaid or an usher to set out table 3, they can do that. But Charlie, Lucy, Tim, which way are they going to be facing? Because say, for instance, your top table here, and Lucy is your lovely grandma. Lucy's going to want to see you. She's not going to want her back to you. So when you write out who's sitting on what table, not only do you need a piece of paper with the names around the table, but you also need a piece of paper to show something else in the room so that people can understand where somebody is sitting around that table. If you want Lucy to sit at 11 o'clock, then that's where she should be sitting when you're looking at the top table, okay? By me popping the top table in there, and I've also popped the entrance doors in there, now it's not just a table floating in the middle of the room. Now we know that we want to be sitting, if I'm sitting at the top table here, I want to be sitting looking at these guys' faces, and I don't mind too much if I only get a side profile of these guys' faces. So it's really important that when you write your table out, which is also going to go into your box, that you don't just do a round table with names around it, okay? You need some sort of feature of the room too, so that people know which direction you want people sitting in. That's really important. So that is going to go in my box as well for table number 3. Now, somewhere along the line, somebody is going to have to hold a master copy of the whole table plan. What you don't want to do is be rushing backwards and forwards to the table plan that's actually signposted for everybody to see on the actual wedding day. You could do with a smaller copy. Now, I would say, once you've written out your smaller copy and you've put your names around each of the tables, I would pop this copy in my top table box so that you know that you've got one main copy of the whole table plan, but on a smaller version, and you're not running backwards and forwards to your main table plan, which is likely to be at an entrance of the reception room somewhere. So make sure that you've got one hard copy, just like this, with the names written out of where you want everybody to sit, and that copy goes in the top table box. So that's our table 3 boxed and ready to go. You can see everything's in there that we need for table 3. My head is feeling really clear now, knowing that the right things are in the right box. And we should do this for each table, including the top table, so that I know I can put a tick by the fact that I know the table numbers in there, the place names are in there, the favours are in there, the candles are, and the children's activity sheet ×1 is also in there. So it really rests my head knowing that I've got myself organised and ready for when these boxes arrive at the venue. Once you've organised all of your boxes, be sure to make sure that you're storing them correctly, i.e. flat, okay? And then when it comes to transporting them across to your venue, make sure that you're not having to shove them in the car sideways or upside down, because things will get damaged inside of them. So make sure you've really thought out who's taking what, and hopefully keep all of your boxes together so that when you arrive at your venue, remember, they'll get put down on the floor, but you'll be able to see exactly which box corresponds with exactly which table. So all of this organising is going to buy you back time, okay? And time is of the essence when it comes to planning and organising your wedding day, because the day beforehand will go by so quickly. You've got oodles and oodles of time before the big day, okay? You'll be sitting on your hands waiting to go. So be organised, be prepared, and have these boxes all sorted at 2 weeks, a week in advance, okay? So that you've got them prepped and ready. You can organise the boxes as early as you want. You just don't put the contents in them too soon. Or if you do put the contents in them, make sure you've double checked it in case there are any amendments or changes. If you found this video helpful, then please do like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There are more coming up. I am struggling to keep on top of it as regular as I am. Bank holiday Mondays have gone out the window, but absolutely I am here for you. So if you've got anything that you want to ask, please ask in the comments, and we will see you again very soon.